Hi, my name's Dee. I'm one of the pro team members at Airbrush. Today I'm going to show you how to strip down your airbrush. Firstly, you will need to find a tray. This will help you when taking the airbrush apart. It's somewhere to place your airbrush parts so that they don't roll onto the floor or stop you from losing any of the tiny pieces in your airbrush. If you can't be bothered to clean your airbrush or strip it down, we can do that for you. We offer a service where you send it in to us. We will check all the parts over to make sure everything's working and nothing's broken. If something does need to be replaced, we will get in contact with you and tell you how much it will be. You can buy all the airbrush pieces individually, so should you accidentally lose something or if you happen to break anything off your airbrush, then you can purchase them all online. Place your tray down onto a flat surface. You will need the wrench, a small disposable cleaning brush, a set of cleaning brushes, and your thinner and cleaner. Grab your airbrush and remove the handle. Next, unscrew the needle chucking nut. Then slowly, carefully remove the needle and place on the tray. Then remove the spring case. This will unscrew. It will feel like it goes on for ages, but eventually it will come out of the airbrush. Next, remove the spring and then the needle chucking guide from the airbrush. Next, the push button. You'll need to twist this so it comes out easily. Next, we'll move on to the front end of the airbrush. So first remove the needle cap by unscrewing. Next, remove the nozzle cap, again by unscrewing. This will expose the nozzle. To remove the nozzle, you need to use the wrench. So slowly unscrew the nozzle. Now this is a really tiny piece of the airbrush, so make sure it doesn't fall on the floor, otherwise you'll lose it. Now you can clean your airbrush, so using your cleaning brushes, you can get right down into the barrel of the airbrush. You can also clean the front end of the airbrush using the thinner and cleaner. This will remove any build-up of makeup, foundation that you've used in your airbrush. Now to put the airbrush back together. So first take the nozzle. You start to put it on the front end of the airbrush and then tighten with the wrench. Next, take the nozzle cap and place this over the nozzle. Screw this on finger tight. Next, take the needle cap and screw that onto the nozzle cap. So that's the front end complete. Now we start off with the push button. Now there are lines on the push button which needs to be facing the front of the airbrush. On the opposite side, underneath, there is a little lip which will sit on the barrel of the airbrush. You need to put this in sideways into two little grooves inside the airbrush and then twist so the lines facing the front. You can test in the correct position by pushing down on the airbrush. Then you need to take the needle chucking guide Make sure the front end is facing downwards, and that will push in up towards the push button. Then take your spring and pop that along, and then pop over the spring case and slowly tighten. So everything will be going clockwise to tighten up. Once that's tightened then in place, you can then check it's in position by slowly pulling back on your push button before placing the needle back in the airbrush. So make sure it's come through the front and then slowly just tapping it to make sure it's all the way in. Then tighten up your needle locking nut, and this will hold the needle in place. Then lastly, replace the handle and check your airbrush is working.